Welcome to the second part of this tutorial series on scripting. In this video I will be showing you the different kind of scripts that there are and talking about the output. But first I will be going into File and then Studio Settings and then Script Editor, and then if you scroll down to Theme you can change the color of your scripts. So if you want to copy these, I'll go down slowly. And you can just pause if you want to have the same colors as me. Now this doesn't change anything, it doesn't change the way that the code works, it doesn't change the way that scripting works. It's all going to be the same. It's just that if you want to have the same colors as me when I open up a script, you can do that. Okay, so the first thing that you're going to want to do now is you're going to want to add a script. But before we add a script, you need to know that there are 3 different kinds of scripts in Roblox Studio. So as you can see, there is a server script, which is just called a script. There is a local script, which runs on the client. And then there is a module script, but I'm not going to be getting into module scripts on this video because they are more complicated. I'm just going to be focusing on server scripts and local scripts. So as I said before, this script will run on the server, and that means that it will affect the whole server when players are playing, and then a local script will just affect that individual player on its own. So local scripts are going to be good for GUIs and just code that you want to run only for that client specifically. So we're going to add a normal script into the workspace, and then if you just run this code, which will show up when you add, because that's just the default when you add a script, it has print open brackets in parentheses hello world close bracket. So if we run this, in the output over here, as you can see, it has printed hello world. Now the output will print all the stuff that you wanted to print. It will also print errors, and we're not going to be worried about the breakpoints for now. We're just going to use the output. So as you can see, if you click here, it will take you immediately to your script because it tells you which script has printed this message. In this case, it's a string because it's in parentheses and this is a string. Now, if I remove the parentheses, you will see that when I run, there will be an error in red, and it says the error that it doesn't understand what world is. And that's because this doesn't actually mean anything to the script because it doesn't know what this is. Because if you want to print a message, you need to put it in parentheses because then the script will just ignore it and it will just print the characters and it's not actually going to execute it as code. So you want to do that. So you can put whatever you want into the string. So you can do this is a test. We can just do that, and when you run it, it will print this is a test in the output. You can also do calculations. So if you do 2 plus 2 in parentheses, you will see that it will print 2 plus 2. It's not actually going to print what 2 plus 2 is equal to. And if you do 2 plus 2 equals, it's also still not going to print 4 because it is in a string, and as I said before, Roblox is going to ignore this. It's not even going to interpret it as code. So if you actually want to do what 2 plus 2, you just do 2 plus 2. You don't need to do equals, just put 2 plus 2 and then it will run. As you can see, it has equal to 4. If you do 2 plus 2 equals, it will error because it's thinking that you're going to assign it to something, and you're not. So you just do 2 plus 2. You can do 6 minus 2, and it will print 4. And then if you do it in parentheses, like I said before, it's just going to print 6 minus 2 and not what 6 minus 2 is equal to. So let me remove that. And let's go back to this script over here and look in the properties area. Now you can change the name of your script to whatever you want it to be called. I'm going to call this test script. I don't recommend putting spaces because that's just going to make it trickier for you when you're writing code. It's just simpler. Just don't put spaces and don't put full stops. You can obviously still reference it, but it's just more difficult if you do it that way. So you can run server scripts in the workspace. Now let me delete this script and let me add a local script. So I have inserted a local script, and I will run this, and it's not going to print hello world in the output. And that's because this is a local script, and the workspace does not execute local scripts because this is only for the client and the workspace is not for the client. So if you want to run this script only for the client, you have to put it into the starter player and then starter player scripts, and then you will see that this is where it is. You can also do it here, and you just click on the parent. You do that, and you see, click on the workspace, and it changes its parent. So we're just going to put it here, and as you will see, it will. Oh, it's not actually going to print because I'm running this, and I'm not testing the game. I'm just running the server. So I need to actually let my character play, and as you can see, it has printed hello world because the script is inside the player. So this is me, and then my script is over here. This is my script. These are other default scripts by Roblox. You don't need to worry about those. So you just close that, and now if I put a normal script inside here and I just run it, you will see that in the output this prints it as green because server is green and blue is for the client. And I can click on this and it will take me to the local script, and then I can also click on this and it will take me to the server script. Now if I stop this, I can then delete this, and I'm going to focus more on this script. If I put this script inside server storage, it's not actually going to run. Just ignore that. That is just a model that I had for a thumbnail. Just ignore that. Okay, so if I just move this script inside server storage and I run the game, even though it's a server script, it's not going to print hello world, and that's because server storage does not run scripts. You need to put your scripts inside server script service or the workspace. So if let's go back in here. Now I'm going to show you what a comment is. So if I just remove this and I want to put a comment, so you do 2 hyphens like that, and then you can do this is a comment. Roblox is not going to run this as code. So if I run this, it's not going to error and it's not going to do anything because it's just a little message for me. Or if you're writing scripts and you're working with a team, you can just leave comments and mental notes for yourself. So if I do print hello world, you will see that it's going to print hello world just fine. It's not going to change anything. The comment doesn't do anything. You can also put, so let me copy this, and you can, oops, put that back there. If I put this comment here, it's not going to change anything. It's still going to print hello world. However, if I put this code after this comment, as you can see, it's still grayed out, and that's because it's still a comment. So when I press run, it's not going to print hello world because it's a comment, and as I said before, Roblox does not read comments as code. It doesn't read that. So if you want to have your code after this comment, you can do 2 brackets like this, and then you can paste that here. And that basically means that you're starting your comment here and you're ending your comment here. If you're just doing a comment on a line and you're not planning on putting code afterwards, you don't need to put these brackets. But let's say, for instance, you want to run this on this same line, then you can. And now we'll print hello world. This is also helpful for, let me just leave this here. This is also helpful for when you want to do multiple lines of comments. Hello, this is still comment. So as you can see, this is still part of the comment because it is grayed out, and I can have this go as long as I want. As you can see, it's all grayed out, and even if I do print hello world, it's not going to print this because it is still in the comment. It's just going to print this bottom one over here. So that's what that's for. So like that, you don't need to do double hyphens at every line. So you can just put all of this in one comment and then close it off here so it knows that's where your comment finishes, and then it can still execute your code that is underneath your comment. So we can do print hello, and then we can do print goodbye. And it will print both of these, and as you can see, the comment doesn't cause any issues because it's just a comment. If you want to print parentheses inside, hello, this is a test. If you want to print parentheses inside the output, you can use single parentheses like this, and now the parentheses will print. You can see, but if you want to print double parentheses, then you can do this. You have to remove, because if I do double parentheses here, you will see that this has been grayed out, and that's because it thinks that you're closing your string here and then you're starting a new string here, and then it doesn't know what this is, and this does not make sense. So if you want to use double parentheses here, you have to just change these ones for single parentheses, and you can do that. Okay, let me just select this whole thing like that. So you can use single parentheses, and then you can have double parentheses inside your string. It's just a matter of preference, what you prefer using. You can use single or double parentheses. I prefer using double personally, unless if I need my string to have a parentheses, and I prefer to have double. So yeah, you can just do that, and then you can just do multiplications in here, and you can do a bunch of stuff. So that's what printing does. So if I do print hello, this is another test, and I go into the properties area under the behavior and I check disabled, this code of print will not run because the script is disabled. As you can see, the script has been grayed out and the script is not running because it has been disabled. So I can just tick that, and now the script will be enabled. So let me show you. As you can see, it has printed that and the script isn't grayed out. If you want to disable the script, so after this, let's say I'm just going to do print, this script is going to be disabled now. And then I do script dot disabled equals true. So now this is the script itself, so this is that. So I'm doing script.disabled, which is this property inside the script, and then I'm making that equal to true. So true is a tick and false is not a tick. So if I run this, you will see that it has printed this, and then it has disabled the script. So now the script is not running. So this is just a really basic intro into scripting.